It's awfully hard to find a bad live vocal performance from James Hetfield. He's got this set of tools that he's been honing over the years, and in many ways he just seems to keep getting better and better. The way he goes in and out of compression. The way he moves his resonance around. Belty, bellish sounds and brash, more nasal sounds. These accessible ways of using his voice, and also the writing of Metallica, has made his voice one of the most recognizable and often sought-after sounds in rock metal history. And if you'd like to learn and practice some of these techniques like compression, distortion, and tonal development with your voice, but aren't quite sure where to start, click the link below and join my free voice course. And I'll help you do that in a way that creates freedom with your voice and not judgment and frustration. May I just say that S&M 1 was one of my favorite albums growing up. If it's possible to wear out a digital CD, I probably wore that one out. So I'm really excited to get an update 20 years later on this type of sound. It's just such a wonderful collaboration. And I love the adaptation. So cool. Very few bands have arrangements that work this way, that you hear the orchestra and you're like, oh, of course. Okay, let's go back to the first line, and I want you to listen for more times that James does this after I've explained and internalized this a little bit. Right this time. Notice how he throws right back. Listen again. Right. Just try to sort of imitate it with your speech. Don't try to sing it as you internalize it. Right this time. Right is back. It resonates around the soft palate. It's nasal, and he's holding back air. He's doing that. Give me fuel, give me fire. Right this time. And then he belts. He has this bellish belt thing that happens phrase by phrase sometimes, or word by word within phrases. And this is part of what we love about James Hetfield. He will grit up and clean up his voice within just a few notes and a few words. A lot of people make the mistake when they're listening to and trying to imitate James Hetfield that he's always using this James Hetfield grit, but he goes in and out almost constantly. And it feels right this time. As you sort of internalize what he's doing, don't try to sound like him. Don't try to imitate him, but also don't be afraid that you are going to sound dumb and weird as you're dialing in the sensations necessary to be as liquid with your compression right this time. See what happens. Listen for that as it goes on. Again there. So clean there, right? Clean Wonder Boy, not Wonder Boy. Although he does that in different places. But it's that arc and that journey that he takes us on as he moves his resonance, his tone, his placement around. I love that nod when he's good day to be alive. Watch this again. That's so great. Also watch how he uses his mouth. Lots of times our body and face can lead articulations with our voice. A lot of people might say, oh no, there's tension if you're... Well, there's a wrong way and a right way to do it. If you are trying to contort to hit a note that might be out of your range, this is going to cause tension. If you're going to deliver a note confidently and then articulate it by moving your jaw, your neck freely, not being locked into something, this is the right kind of intensity. There's a big difference.
Then it comes to be that the soothing light at the end of your tunnel is just a freight train coming your way.
Great lyric.
Then it comes to be that the soothing light at the end of your tunnel is just a freight train coming your way.
Oh, yeah. Also notice what he did with his, he led with his head. Yeah. Try that. Lift it as an exercise. As you go back, picture the resonance, the airflow that's coming from your support. Picture the resonance going back into more of a nasal sort of a sound as we go from here with normal speech and here. And then compress it so you don't dump a bunch of air while you're going back. But lead with your head. I'm going to say something and then I'm going to go back like this and then I'm going to say something and then I'm going to go back. Practice it in speech level first and then put it in a note. Hey! Hey! Move the vowel around a little bit too to play further with the resonance. Great tone is about dynamic resonance, not one tone. Don't ever say again as a vocalist, I'm just trying to find the right tone for my voice. The right tone is all tones within a particular realm of experimentation.
At the end of your tunnel, is this a freight train coming your way? Yeah. Gonna feel right like this, yeah.
Right like this, yeah, yeah. That's like actually a glorified sigh. Yeah, yeah. Borrow from Will Ramos' deathcore there.
Gonna feel right like this, yeah.
Yeah.
All the pieces fall to his wish. Sucker for that quick reward, boy. Sucker for that quick reward, they say. Then it comes to be with the soothing light at the end of your tunnel. It's just a freight train going your way. There comes to be the soothing light at the end of your tunnel.
It'll be interesting, you know, having heard this song for a long time, how he handles the end. I love how he goes in and out of his head voice on an earlier S&M recording of this song. You don't hear James Hetfield do stuff like that often. Go in and out of his head voice like that. So it's fun to hear that. But it'll be interesting to hear how he executes it here. Way. As he compresses, he moves it back. That compression, I've said this before in other videos, try to lift something heavy while you're just talking and keep going with your voice and just let the pitch do what it does. And you'll get that. Once you understand that the sensation should feel high in your throat, try attaching a note to it and then adding some nasality, clean it up. And then as you bring in more nasal, it'll naturally break up by moving that resonance around, even as you're lifting something heavy. But go back and forth as you're dialing it in.
It's coming your way. Coming your way. Here it
Then the other lead vocalist of Metallica starts to sing. I love the way he uses the wah pedal in all the right spots to make it seem even more vocal. Listen to this part again. Those bends with the way he's articulating that wah. Right there. It's in these sections where you really feel the depth of the orchestra. I think when the vocals or the lead guitar is going, you sense the orchestra. But here, even though they're not playing any like lead parts, the depth of sound is just incredible. Strings. And the way the brass came out earlier, that was pretty awesome. Okay. He's thicker on that. Now, comes to be. It's a little more mixed, less pure head like it was. Chest there. And then it comes to be, and then it comes to be. He's putting more weight behind that high note there, at least in these first couple. And then it comes to be, and then it comes. It's nasaler, more nasal, and there's more power and weight behind it. See where he goes. Almost a squawk. Love that. Yeah, just drilling that pitch in. Hear that little like chirp or sigh afterward. Yeah. That's a great thing to try, because oftentimes the E vowel comes to be is easier to get grit out of. If you're working on compression, long, open, belt comes to be. Get goofy with it and let your mouth really go for it. But make the B vowel when you switch over to grit. That can be a cool way to stumble upon some distortion. Exploit your vowels. And embrace the voice cracking that happens when you do so. Lean into it. Don't shy away from it. It comes to be. That was a wonderful transference from that nice, like not too gritty, to that bellish, clean belt that he does, and then down into a kind of a soothing chest resonance. Oh. Thanks for watching, appreciating this wonderful work of art, and diving into James's voice with me. Again, if you'd like more help with your own voice, dialing in some of these fun techniques, click the link below and join my free voice course. We'll see you for more.